Henry McClure live. It's been a long day. It's been a good day. We got a lot going on. I'm telling you, we got people talking about stuff. I love it. What I'm really loving more than anything is the awareness of people. And like uh they want to tell me, "Hey, look, I see what you're saying and I agree with you." And those are the people I love. Thank you. You know, we'll get everybody woke up, or at least we'll try to unplug those that are still connected to the matrix of the machine. And and if you don't think what's going on a national level isn't happening here locally, you're naive. You are very naive. You're a very naive person. And even really the nicest of people that with good intentions, they'll take advantage of the system. I said, don't get resentments against these guys out there. They've got political, they've got elected officials doing their bidding. You got to watch JEDO and MD. There's a section of JEDO of the JEDO uh, last JEDO meeting, and I need you to download, and then we're going to use that so we can have some studio clips. You got it? But it's all about the laboratory, and uh, think about it. We've, for a lack of a better word, we pissed away $1 million on the Wolf's camera with a developer that thought he could do it. Hey, I think I can do it. He couldn't get anybody to do it. I mean, uh, a real good leasing guy. You can make deals without it there. I've had to do it. I remember I always thought at Macerich I wanted to be a part of the acquisitions team. And then I got an assignment to underwrite a property in West Covina. There was a West Covina mall, and there was a strip center across from it. Well, I had to go out and work on it. We didn't even own it. But I mean, isn't it the wildest coincidence known to man that the AT&T building is the most perfect building known to man for a $5 million investment to put in something that there may not even be a market for it? And the beauty about being an elected official or a recipient of all the gratuities is you don't have to waste your own money. We get to pay their way. We get up every day, we go to work. Uh, we're not treated like the rest of the people, and we've got to pay. We got to pay to play, and we pay so they can have a better life. I mean, and you ought to watch. You should have watched the city council meeting, and the girl, the girl up there that came up and spoke in public comment about Lawrence Bay. She does it so articulate. It's actually a work of art. I'm not saying if I were elected official, I wouldn't give a guy. I might give a guy 3 more months. Yeah. Look, he's had a decade, but it's not his fault. It is not his fault. It's not the developer's fault today. No, it's JEDO, it's the county, and it's uh, the city council, because it's their job for enforcement. Don't get mad at the developer. I mean, I'll tell you, some days uh, I've been known to drive over the speed limit. Yeah, it's against the law, and if you don't get caught, nobody, And I imagine some of the listeners here right now have had traffic violations, and you didn't like, hey, look, I ran a stop sign, and I felt bad about it, but I want you to give me a ticket. I just don't think that happens. And I know that owing a bunch of money, but it is the elected officials' responsibility to come up with the ideas of how to solve it. I'm telling you, there was 1 minute in the JEDO meeting that I think that Bill Rapon and Aaron Mays almost dropped a testicle and were going to vote differently. Yeah, and I appreciate the deputy mayor today. Hey, we don't get along on a lot of stuff. I thought that it was really bad up in Rochester Road. What happened to a guy just trying to build some places out there? I mean, you can't. It's unfair to listen to these people that don't want anything to happen in their neighborhood. It's just, you can't. If we want inner city development and a guy comes bring it in, it can't be. Well, since he's a Republican and he's not, you know, you can't have it both ways. You really can't. And hey, look, if it's you just don't want any development in Topeka, that's why you should defund. You should rechannel the resources of Go Topeka. Molly finally admitted in the JEDO meeting that her expenses are $2.5 million to run the place. Now, her annual reports reflect about another $1 million in expenses. Even the email she sent me about all the money that she gives away, she just doles it out to people, her friends, to make sure that they keep the body politic in place, the people they want. These are the same people that really just basically put Kevin Cook in my way. He'd make a good nose tackle. uh, Whatever. Do you see what I'm saying? They elected a guy that's an attorney that gets the public defender. He's no Johnny Cochran. Well, what I'm saying, what the smart, and I didn't bring this up along the election, but Kevin Cook's greatest accomplishments as a county commissioner was hiring the judge's wife, the judge that runs the department where he tries cases. Now that was a smart guy. Hey, look, I'm going to have a bunch of cases in front of this guy, and if I hire the judge's wife, that'll probably be a good move for me. That was brilliant. And I don't know. I think the dude had influence on getting his law partner the job over at the county commission. But nothing I can do about it now. But you got to start adding this up. And what I think that Kevin has become a brilliant manipulator. A brilliant manipulator. Now let me repeat that. Kevin Cook has become a brilliant manipulator because as he sits there as the chair of JEDO, he acts like he's sympathetic to this side and he acts like he's trying to get everything out and uncovered, but he's going to do what he's going to do. And far too often, I think it's all decided. It's all decided. And that's why it's so important that we get a new mayor in town with new leadership that's a JEDO vote. We need to get a new mayor who has a JEDO vote. And we've got to stop what's going on. Oh man. What are y'all up to tonight? I had to get that up. There's a couple more things I wanted to talk about. Some of the shortcomings of this this government that we see. Uh, Spencer did a good job. Um, hey, also Tuck and Kathy, I like seeing you two together down there giving these invocations and saying what for. Someday you should come on the show and talk about Strong Hall when you guys were barricaded in the chancellor's office. That's a great story. I love that. When you guys met, it was love at first sight. Two dissidents, recalcitrant, recalcitrant uh, political views. Hey, Tuck, how you doing with the lawsuit on the county over the revenue neutral? How you doing on that? Good job, buddy. And thank you again for the compliment about deed in lieu of foreclosure day. And if you've read my tax plan, and it needs to be tweaked a little bit, but you've got to write or call your state representative, your in the House and the Senate. I got to talk to Patrick Schmidt. He's my senator. Hey, Patrick, if you watch the show, I want you to look at the deed in for the deed. Well, I like the deed in lieu of foreclosure, but the homestead to where you buy a property, that's your taxes. We've got to restructure. We've got to get rid of all the administrations. And somebody's got to come up with the ideas. Let's just say in Shawnee County, we had one administrative uh, system for all the school boards. We have 5 school boards in this area. You keep the school boards in place for the public involvement. So, um, unlike, I mean, we've got to have more public involvement, which brings up the citizens committee that we've got to figure out how to uh, to come forward. I think the citizens committee is if even if the elected officials that are supposed to head up the citizens committee, even if they put all Go Topeka chamber members or Greater Topeka Partnership, even if they're all elected on the board, at least all their meetings and all their decisions would be made in the sunlight, in the light of day. Now, all the stuff they talk about in the boardrooms of Go Topeka, I can't walk in there. I don't know. I don't know. Can I walk in there? Can I be a member? Hey, and Henry McClure over here, uh, by owned by the GTP, that guy. I've got my press pass. I got credentials. I am a media outlet. I'm bringing the uh, I'm bringing the issues forward. Hey, I want you to start watching my YouTube channel. Subscribe to that because what I'm doing now, every Henry McClure live now is downloaded. We put the search engine optimization, and then we post it on the Henry McClure live YouTube channel. And so that way, uh, because like Mike Halgan was telling me that every day, it's sometimes I speak in riddles. It's hard to start fresh every day. But what I have to do is I just have to continue to remind you that what's going on in here is corrupt and not fair. Think about all the money we're going to give to Cody Foster at the AT&T building. A 10-year lease. KS Commercial gets paid on that, I'm sure. I see Mike Morris's sign there. And does oh, hey, somebody who lives out by Washburn Tech East, I think that whole second level is vacant. I mean, there's plenty of places I'm sure that had space that we wouldn't have to go, uh, we could do it differently. Hey, here's what's going to happen. I forgot. Pretty soon, they're going to say the reason that they had to put that laboratory downtown, it's because of the iconic footbridge. Because look, these scientists, they got to get some fresh air, think and just think how lovely it would be to go across the iconic footbridge. And then they can look at all the people at the mission and say, wow, glad I got a job. I got this huge grant. Hell, that's what they'll start doing. That's oh man, I just put it all together. Now they can give the grant to the scientist to use they'll give the grant to the scientist to use the space. So that way it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Hey, see, it was a good idea to give all this money to this guy and sign a 10-year lease and spend $5 million on the build out. All they'll do is they'll fund the grant. Just mark my words. This is an I told you so moment. And don't ever forget Earl McIntosh. And because that boy's got a halo over his head for everything that he's done to try to change Topeka. Okay, so you see what I'm saying? So we rent the space from the big donor to the system that runs the machine. And so we rent the space and then we put $5 million, $6 million into the build out. And then the next thing we'll do is we'll actually give the grant to the scientists so they can occupy the space. And just think, you get to fund all this. I'm kind of proud of myself for coming up with that. So let's just go back to Molly finally admitting about $2.5 million. Got that on tape. MD, we got to get that on tape. So, Topeka needs to do better for sure. Thanks, Jeremy. Jeremy Bailey's watching. I don't know from where. Yeah, we need to do better. But also, I can tell you we need to do better because I was born here July 13th, 59. I don't know. What's the carrot mean going up in his comments? But it's just the same old, same old. It's same old, same old. Oh, hey, some people noticed my signs missing at Gage and 21. And there's some good reasons for it. I had to take a stand on a deal. And I think we've got a good deal there, and I want the owner to take it. I can't make him do it. But if I can get the corner sold, that will leave me just under 2 acres left over of multifamily 2, multifamily 1. And I got to come up with 50 grand for that. Hey, but why should you go out and buy land? All you got to do is go to the land bank and get it for free. I'm here in Topeka. Hey, Jeremy. Thanks for tuning into the show. Follow me on Facebook follow me on, everybody gets to look at Facebook because I've got it opened up. I have no settings. It's far too late. Everything that I've said and done, I can't I can't take it back. You can't unring a bell. But follow me on YouTube. I like the YouTube because the YouTube channel, it's got so much more watch time, and YouTube is easier for the international people. That I've got friends on X. Last time I did a study on my followers on X, I think 65% were in America, and then the rest are worldwide. And I think I've got like 20,500 followers on X. Oh, actually, I was dealing with a company, and they looked at my social media. I'm going to talk to them about me doing their advertising. I've got more social, uh, I've got more contacts than they've got. Oh boy, life's interesting. You know what I really ought to do is ask Jim if he wants me to help him now with the land deal. I was going to give up my real estate license. Um, oh, you watched the channel? Oh, thanks. Well, follow me on X. I don't know who Jeremy Bailey is, but I'm beginning to like this guy. Hey, after 10 years of sobriety, I might have known him, but I'm meeting some of my friends for the first time. Almost a decade. I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to the change. I I don't really feel like I'm becoming a new person. I don't. I just feel that I'm tapping into all the good that's in there, and my behavior is a little more stable off of drugs. It's a little more consistent, and I long and try very hard to. I'm following Dr. Gundry. You know, you got to get off sugar. You got to get off lectins. Uh, and he's so interesting. They're really saying that Alzheimer's. Uh, oh, I know who you are. Okay, well, good. Okay, Jeremy. Shame on me, but you know, you got to admit you got to see how many people I meet every day. I talk to everybody. I like people. Deep down, I do like people. And where was I? Oh, Alzheimer's. It's type 3 diabetes. That's what it is. Okay, Jeremy, give me a hint. Where do I know you? From Fight Club? Uh, I'll tell you what's wild is getting off of coffee. Man, I was over consuming coffee, and I feel a little more grounded and stable. Um, hey, are you all getting ready for Christmas? If you don't know what to get me, go back and donate to my campaign so I can try to get flush. But hey, um, and if anybody, you know who, if you're going to run, we need to get people to run for office. And if you want to run for office, if you're going to run for office, this is what will happen. There will be cheers. Um, what I'm finding more interesting than that's happening out there in the universe, it's the Make America Great Party. That's that's what Donald Trump's all about, and all the people he's surrounding himself with, and the fact that Joe Biden is trying to sabotage his presidency. Again, you're going to have to pay for it. We're going to have to pay for it. Uh, taking taking parts of the wall that have sat there. Uh, hey, and it was the rhinos. It was the rhinos that didn't support Trump for uh, for not finishing the wall. Should have got that wall built. Oh, man, Van Jones. You guys know Van Jones? Uh, you don't get any further left than Van Jones. And to hear him talking about how smart Trump is, and the whole dead car battery with a Nissan Armada. I am the 3 red A. Oh, Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. If we're going to leave that in code, we'll just leave it in code. AAA. But I've never met a stranger. So I got distracted. Donald J. Trump. Look at the people he surrounded himself with. And you know what I'm so sick about the left is all the lawfare. And whoever wanted to the worst lawsuit of all was about falsifying documents. Um, the falsifying documents charge. You know, well, uh, Mar-a-Lago being worth $18 million, saying they didn't value. He lied about on financial statements. You know, that is so bogus. And for all you people that want to continue to buy into the convicted felon thing, I mean, really, come on, get over it. If you guys don't think people use their power, oh, actually, my battery it failed. In well, which one? See, I got two Armadas. I got the off-road one, and I got the new one. And the new one, I think it was the off-road one. I don't know. I just hop in the closest car. But I go to Daryl's, and I've been going to Daryl's for a long time, and it was about the 2 year mark, and I think the AA battery, AAA had a you know, sometimes it's just so easy. Yeah, give me a battery, put it in there, let's go. If there is ever a weakness for me, it's automotive. You know, I admire my friend Tyler Weibel. You got to see this guy. He's pulling engines out. He's fixing stuff. Um, oh man, he had a car stolen. It's the older one. Yeah, I like the older one better. Sorry, I'm enjoying talking to Jeremy. The older one has more room in the cab, and it's plus. I think I'm kind of more of a. I like the humbleness of the older one. It's got the off-road tires. You can four wheel. It's got a big bumper on the front. I was at Sam's today and I saw the one that I clipped or the pulled. And I walked in to talk to the manager and I said, "Hey, look, I just took out one of your stop signs and I feel real bad about it." And they go, "Wow, you're the first customer to ever come in and admit it." I go, "Okay, well, if I got to pay for it." And they go, "Oh no, is your car okay?" And Sam's was more worried about me. Um, but I mean, they tried to assassinate the guy, and that's all part of it. They try, and just, you know, God's hands in this deal. He turns to look at the chart, and if he wouldn't have turned his head, he'd be dead. And anybody that thinks that wishes he was dead, well, shame on you. You know, you're going to pay for your transgressions later. But the lawfare, and you know, you guys, if it's happening to you, if it's happening to you, you would think differently on it. Let's um, let's just take lawyers for a minute, and let's say that the Greater Topeka Partnership and Go Topeka got into the lawyer business. They want to grow the lawyers. We want more lawyers to move to the town. And if you need a lawyer, you got to go through the Greater Topeka Partnership, and then they figure out what lawyers they're going to give the case to. Well, the list stops at the people that are members of the club. And so the guy over here that's a member of TBA or just goes to church a lot instead of, he's got his own network of friends, he's never going to see a case. And that's the way I feel personally. I think finally I got through to some of the realtors that go to Topeka as basically the commercial real estate broker of Topeka. Well, look, they're the one giving Cody Foster $5 million in build out, getting a 10-year lease. Look who's running the show around here. Are you seeing it? The free market never had the opportunity to try to get that location. And we're trying to create a market downtown, and it just so happens that we're giving it to a guy that's a big donor of the chamber. And he ain't done nothing for me, so I don't care. A friend of mine said he doesn't like me anyway. Okay, what do I care? You know what I love the fact? I love the fact that the employees over there in the old, on McClure Road, call it the McClure building. Hey, we got here first. That doesn't make me better. Free money to move here. Yeah, choose Topeka. Choose Topeka is the equivalent of tie the pork chop around the neck and so the dog will play with you. And again, it's just when you guys start seeing that the same money is just being shuffled amongst the same people and we're just paying for it, you'll get some resentments yourself, or you'll start saying, you know what, I'd rather have all the potholes fixed. I'd rather have a plan for lowering our tax base. I'd like to try to figure out how we get some more people to move here. And when you start thinking that way, you'll start seeing that it's not Henry just being jealous. I'll find a way to make a living. Hell, you guys keep tuning in. We'll monetize this channel. I got to get that star thing working. I don't know. I think that I need to get a small little orchestra in here, and I got to get an Ed McMahon. We didn't do the Topeka factor today. Marshall was running all over hell and back trying to figure out to put up some signs and stuff. But I think we're going to do a Topeka factor tomorrow. But hey, I appreciate you guys. And slowly but surely, it's going to catch on. And I don't think it's going to take 4 years. But somebody's got to come forward and run for mayor. And Doug from Dylan Salad Bar, thank you. Doug told me, he said, you got to run for mayor. You got to save this town. But we've got to change how we're doing things. And you know something? Maybe if somebody, that we'd have more rich guys in town if we just didn't keep giving them money. There could be other real estate developers. I mean, we got to start putting money in the ground and infrastructure. We shouldn't be doing build out. We shouldn't be getting in the laboratory business. It's just wrong. It's wrong. Some guy, he was the best thing since white sliced bread. That's why they did the business with him. And then they couldn't come forward with anybody wanting to come to Topeka. Why can't that be enough to say, well, we shouldn't be risking the taxpayers' money on this? Why wouldn't that be enough? So what I'm getting at is Go Topeka was wrong the first time, right? What makes you think they're going to be right this time? And think about it. Out of $5 million, you're spending $2.5 million just to give away $2.5 million. And then what's that little guy Israel doing? Is Israel Even does he even know any minorities? Um, Old white guys that support Trump in this town, we're minorities. We are the minority. Make America great people that come forward and speak the truth. We're a minority. But the if it weren't for Lazone Graves, we got that set aside money, and who's getting it? Where's it going? You got to know how to grow businesses. We learn more from our failures than our successes. Getting into the what are you doing with the old Red Lobster on 29th? Not my listing. I I I don't have anything to do with that deal. And last time I went in, it kind of stunk. But isn't that Mark Rizak or I don't know, one of Linda Moose real estate guys does a lot of stuff in here. But I'm catching up. I am catching up. Going through 2,500 emails in the last couple of days. But I think I've had enough of the studio. The Glass Houses Studio, which is part of the Ryan Mowinkle empire of commercial real estate, home to his State Farm business. And, like a good neighbor, Henry McClure is here. That's all I got. Hey, Jeremy, I appreciate you speaking up. Uh, you were one of the better service guys, very friendly. I've been a member of AAA forever, it feels like. And um, Bianca's a member of AAA. You got to keep your little girl safe and sound when she's out on the road. That's all I got for tonight. I might come up with something later. You might get one more short out of me. Have a good night, y'all. And Merry Christmas. I love y'all.